Good evening. You have found Flashpoint Radio. It is Friday, February 3rd, and I am your host, Jay-Z. I'm coming to you a little after 6 p.m. here in St. Louis. Had a long day of work, a little beat tired, so let's get right into it. First off, I want to thank all of you that have tuned in, watched all of my videos or some of my videos. I really appreciate the interest and the comments. I hope I'm opening up your mind a little bit to some new possibilities, new places to look. I hope I'm teaching you about finding the flashpoint and witnessing the flashpoint so you can be prepared for what comes in the future. I was talking the other night about Ron Paul and how important it is to talk about liberty and tell people about freedoms, their true freedoms, the ones that we are endowed with by our Creator. And the Ron Paul interest will come. I didn't want to dissuade anybody from working. Continue to work for the campaign, your grassroots campaigns in each cities that you're in. Get involved, get to know people. And tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about a way that you can get your voice heard, where you can amplify your voice to a higher degree, and that would be calling into mainstream talk radio. As you know, this is Flashpoint Radio, but it's on YouTube. I would like one day possibly to get this broadcast on radio because that is a true medium that reaches the masses. But until that point, we're stuck with the likes of Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity and Mark Levin and Dana Loesch in St. Louis and Jamie Allman in St. Louis. And so we have to sit and listen to NEOCONs talk about warmongering and how bad Iran is all day. So I thought I would play for you some clips from a couple of my calls that I made into local radio here in St. Louis, one to Dana Loesch and one to Jamie Allman. They're both regarding Ron Paul one way or another, and liberty and truth in general. Use this as a template on how to call into these radio stations. It's really easy. They enjoy people that are intelligent and that can actually have a conversation and string together words in complete sentences that I can do sometimes. But if you're going to call into a talk radio show, be respectful. Don't lie to the call screener. You can be vague and you can go off topic once you've hit your topic, but stay on topic. Be respectful to the host. Question. Make them answer your questions. Don't get bullied around, and basically just work your best at getting your points across and making the host see your point. And if they can rebuttal, let them rebuttal. If not, hell, they may cut you off. Who cares? But I'm going to get right into this clip, and we'll talk to you after the clips.
So the whole thing, incredibly frustrating. And so I'm a little bit perplexed as to why Representative Pete King is getting why he's getting hit with so much criticism over this, because we've had more instances of we've had more incidents of terrorism in this country than anything else. We're going to go to the phones and get some of your calls on this, though. 866-455-9797, beginning with Jay. Jay, good afternoon, and thanks for joining the program.
How you doing, Dana?
Doing pretty well. What's going on with you today?
Well, I used to call myself a Republican. I don't call myself anything these days, and I've started to see the truth. And I'm just wondering if neocons are willing to accept the truth, because I don't disagree with Pete King asking these questions.
Oh, I hate the term neocon, though.
Well, that's fine. You can hate it all you want.
Well, the term died after the fall of the Berlin Wall, just for historical context.
Are you prepared to accept the answer that our government has been radicalizing Muslims since we created the Mujahideen to fight the Soviets?
What do you mean we? I was in elementary school. I didn't create anything.
The CIA and the military-industrial complex. You look at every oil terrorist plot in America in the past 5 years. It has always come from the FBI. The CIA and the FBI fingerprints are all over almost every terrorist activity in the United States. And we created the Mujahideen, which in turn to Al-Qaeda, which in turn we funded and armed.
You keep saying we. I was in elementary school. I didn't create anything.
I didn't blame you.
Okay, well, all right, let's not say we then.
Military-industrial complex.
Because there were different people, some of them aren't even on this earth anymore, that were involved in that entire issue. I'm personally, I don't like getting involved in situations like that. When you have a country such as Libya, and I'm just going to use it as an example simply because it's a timely issue, and I'm not trying to sound callous, I don't want to get involved in their business. I let the two sides fight it out, and whoever the victor is, then we'll see who we have to talk to. But I don't, and this is sort of the contrarian side of my conservatarian perspective, but I'm not. Unless you're like looking at what happened in the past as far as context.
The past creates future events. People don't forget, especially around the world. Americans.
Well, no, I'm going to say the FBI didn't create the hatred of the infidels. The CIA didn't create the hatred of the infidels.
Radical Muslims.
I've read the Quran. I've read it. I've read it twice, and it's like really difficult to understand because it's totally not in order. But I mean, nothing CIA did. What?
The Bible's not in order. I'm a theologian. The Old Testament is written in bits and pieces. It's truthful, and I'm a Christian.
No, it's actually it is actually in chronological order, and it's pretty clear. No. I'm not getting in a religious debate. I want to go back to your original point, and that you're saying that you and correct me if I'm wrong in my interpretation of what you said, but you're sort of alluding to the argument that somehow government created the extreme, like Sharia-based hostility towards the West. Is that correct?
Can I throw two hypotheticals at you? One, it's on record, Fox News record, that Anwar al-Awlaki, after September 11th, signed at the Pentagon. Osama bin Laden was a CIA operative in the 80s during the war with the Soviet Union, and Hamas was funded by Israel to oppose the Mujahideen. I mean, it's Western influence in the Middle East that has caused the chaos that we're seeing today. I mean, 50 years of Western influence and people playing both sides.
I know there's a lot of different theories that float around, but the bottom line, again, is that I'm going to ask you a quick question because I'm trying to gauge where you're coming from. Do you think 9/11 was an inside job?
Do I think George W. Bush and Dick Cheney were in the building planting bombs? No, I do not. Do I think that there were people in our government that knew about it? Yes.
Okay, so you think
do anything about it? Yeah.
So you think 9/11 was an inside job? I'm just trying to get like from where you're. I'm trying to peg you as far as politically.
And by me saying, I mean, you can call me a truther all you want.
Okay, I just wanted to. Well, no, I'm not calling you anything. I just wanted to figure out where you were coming from on,
Well,
what
if
your perspective was.
anyone would watch Building 7 come down, then they would question it. And I call myself a 9/11 skeptic. I don't know.
I want to ask you a quick question. We have about a couple minutes before I have to go to a hard break. Did you ever see what was it? Oh crap! What was it? The Science. It's the magazine. Something. Popular Science.
Mechanics.
Popular Mechanics. Did you
debunk the free fall?
I thought that. I didn't think they tried. I thought that was a pretty darn good documentary that they had.
Look who funds Popular Science.
Oh goodness! Yeah. Oh goodness! Well, Jay, we're gonna disagree on a lot of stuff, but bottom line, I think when you have a religious text that actually commands people to hate people who are not of that religious persuasion, I mean that's something that no government can create.
I'm not minimizing the radicalization of Islam and the hatred that is found in the Quran. Right. I'm not at all.
Right.
But I'm just saying our government is making us fearful of brown people.
Jay, I got to get going. I got 10 seconds before a hard break. Folks, we'll be back with more of your calls. Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North.
Hey, Jay, thanks for calling the show, buddy. How you doing?
Pretty good, Jamie. This is getting crazy with this debt ceiling.
I know.
These rhinos in the Senate. If we have faith in the representatives we voted in last year, then we shouldn't have any problem because it won't pass the House, which I hope it doesn't. But my main thing is we keep complaining about rhinos, people that sell us out, tell us what we want to hear on Election Day. But, we're holding up Herman Cain, who used to work for the Federal Reserve, Michelle Bachmann, who used to be a lawyer for the IRS and voted for the Patriot Act, when, nobody even gives Ron Paul any credit. He's been saying the same things for 30 years in Congress.
No, you're right. I mean, listen, we have to, this is going to cause us, Jay, and I appreciate your libertarian flair there. We've gotten to a situation where if this happens and this goes through, we are no longer going to be trusting anybody.
As you can see, be assertive, be forceful, be loud. Don't let them control the conversation. If you want to continue your point, continue to talk and talk louder. They'll understand as long as you're making coherent points and you sound good to their audience. They'll keep you on the line, and continue to call back. Create a rapport. Let them use you a little bit, but when you call in, hammer them with important topics and things that you think everyone should know that might lead them to other avenues of liberty. I want to thank you for tuning in again. We've got a lot of news coming up after the weekend. A bunch of Iran news. Things are heating up. Israel could strike at any time. I've got more chemtrail news. I've got more Ron Paul news. Come Monday, we'll have a bunch more results from primaries and caucuses around the country. So things are getting exciting. Things are moving fast. Again, I thank you for tuning in. Catch me on Twitter at Flashpoint Radio and Facebook.com/Flashpoint Radio. We'll see you soon. Keep your eyes to the sky and God bless.